NWO.
What is up, Puffamaniacs and YouTubers? I'm Ace the Kid Hagen with none other than the Puffster himself.
Yeah, boy, Big Papa Puff, baby. Coming to you here from the Puffamania Studios with Wednesday Night War Room.
Wednesday Night War Room, indeed, Puffster. But we should tell all the Puffamaniacs out there that are just starting to come because they're finding out that Puffamania has run wild and spread to YouTube. So we should tell them what Puffamania is all about and what Wednesday Night War Room is.
Well, I can't agree more. Puffamania is a wrestling podcast stationed in North Dakota, specifically Fargo, North Dakota, at our very top secret recording studios. Just off University and 5th Street, if you pass the red house on the right, you've gone too far. You need to back up 3 houses and park to the left.
That being said, Puffster, Wednesday Night War Room is exactly what it sounds. AEW going against NXT, and it's Dynamite. Head-to-head wrestling, battle, Warzone, ratings, everything. It's coming back.
Absolutely.
What do you think about it?
So far, it's been exciting.
Yeah, it has.
It's been really exciting so far.
But so there's
more to come.
There's a way that we've been keeping track of all this. It's
Absolutely.
a point system, and in order to get that point system,
there's a very
rules.
strict criteria that you have to meet in order to get your points, or in this case, stars per match.
And the way we rate those stars is sell, fluency, finish, and the dark horse. Puffster, what is the dark horse of this whole?
Relevancy. Relevancy, if you get, long story short, if you get a negative in it, your star overall drops by 1 star. So if you're a 5-star match, you're automatically dropped to a 4. If you have something, however, that adds to a feud, adds to a storyline, to character building, and it works in the match, or in whatever way it's used, it gets a plus, which can completely add a star to your rating. So if you're a 4, and you have a +1 relevancy, it can turn you into from a 4 to a 5, making you a 5-star match.
Right.
Now, how we measure that is fairly simple. If there's anything that doesn't need to be there, that's redundant, it doesn't matter, if simply put there simply because they could. It takes away from the match, it takes your focus off of the moment. It gets a negative. However, if it's something that adds to the momentum, it adds to a feud, it adds to storyline, it adds to that focus that you have on the match, it gets a positive.
And it's crucial to try getting that positive.
Oh, absolutely.
Thing. And it's really tricky. It's not tricky to look for, but it's one of those things that you actually have to try keeping an eye out for because
You have to keep an open mind for it.
Yeah, that's
is really what it is, because there's a lot of wrestlers out there that, just because it gets a -1 in relevancy or minus whatever, doesn't mean those things were necessarily bad. It just simply means that to that match itself, on a completely strictly fair basis, it didn't need to be there. It was unnecessary, and if it's unnecessary, it's unneeded. So, trying to keep that from happening, it gets a -1.
Right. So, Puffster, I gotta ask you, to start the war rooms, what should we start with? AEW or NXT?
Alright, Meg, it's staying hot. It's time to break down AEW.
Going on into AEW, Puffster, we have Pac versus Trent with his tag team partner, Trent's best friend, Chucky T. And you can't forget about That freshly squeezed
Orange Cassidy.
Cassidy.
God.
That match, overall, it was great. There was things that was lacking in there.
Absolutely.
Especially the finish.
Yeah.
The finish, there was a lot lacking in there. I mean, it wasn't bad, Puffster.
I mean, no, it wasn't bad, but certainly wasn't perfect either.
And it wasn't really perfect because looking at the ratings, Puffster, overall the match for star ratings got a 2.3.
Yeah.
But there was that dark horse that played effect, and they got a -1 point.
That is very true. It was, and honestly, it was because of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And no offense to him, we love what he does. You know, the kicks. We like that and everything.
There's a
but
time for it, and then there isn't a time for it.
Well, it's not as much that as the fact of, once again, like I was saying, we cannot be biased when it comes to this. We have to run it down the middle. If it wouldn't be okay for somebody else to stop the match, it wouldn't be okay for him to stop the match. So, it's all are equal.
Right.
Even if it was cool, or even if it pertained to his character alone, it didn't have a place there. So it does get a minus.
And that does play effect on the points.
It does. A huge effect. No offense to Orange Cassidy. We still love you.
Yeah. We'll see you in a couple weeks for First Wrestling.
That's right.
Here in Fargo, North Dakota. But Puffster, let's move on forward to the next match here. We had the tag team match, and it was for the bronze medal. And we both were like...
-1 immediately.
Not necessarily.
-1 immediately.
But it was like, what's the point of that, you know? But then we kind of seen it further on. It was...
Stupid.
Dark Order versus Private Party, and the winner moved on to go face...
I'm going to cut you off. They got the win, and therefore got a bronze medal.
Who got the win? Private Party got the win.
Right.
Right.
Regardless, they got a third medal.
Right.
A third place medal in wrestling. Okay, this isn't a youth race at your local YMCA. This isn't a cakewalk at your church Sunday jamboree.
Right.
It isn't a pine box derby race at your local Boy Scouts. It's not the freaking Olympics. It's wrestling. There is no second place. There is no third place. It's like Highlander. There can be only one.
Very true, Puffster, but we have to move forward into our matches.
Indubitably.
Back on track. Back on over to the Dark Order versus Private Party. And it was... At the end of the match, there was this move called Gin and Juice.
Let me guess, you like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah,
but either way, it was very well placed. I think it scored fairly well with the ending because of that. But I do believe because of the bronze medals and everything, we gave it a -1.
Yep.
So it is going to get hurt by that relevancy score.
Yep. And we put pretty high scores on there, but with that negative effect, it brought it down quite a lot.
How much did it bring it down? What was the final score?
Well, Buster was only down by a point. So they only lost points because of that negative point. But they would have gotten a 3.4.
Right.
But they ended up getting that negative point. So they brought it down to 2.4. On forth to the next match, Puffster, of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. We got Divas. Do they call them Divas? What do they call them?
I don't even know these days. I don't know. Female wrestlers?
Alright.
I guess that's what it is now.
Women wrestlers. Women wrestlers.
I don't know. Back in my day, they were called divas. And they had mud fakes and bikinis and a swimsuit album every summer. I don't have that shit no more.
No. Jamie Hayter and Emi Shakraka versus Shanna and Riho.
It's Shana.
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 Shana na na na. Na 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 na. Shana na 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 na.
In the name of Sweet Mama June, are you doing?
Na 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 na. Just having a jolly old time.
You're just having a jolly old time. Indubitably. Indubitably, good sir. Having a bully of a time. Bully. Anyways, getting back on track again.
Yeah, that match overall was a great match. Out of the whole night for AEW, it was actually the highest match for rated stars, as it came out to a 3.3. It was a really well put women's match.
Yeah,
I thought so. Exposing us to a new wrestler named Jamie Hayford or
Hayter.
Hayter.
I think it's Hayter.
Jamie Hayter.
Either way,
She's
definitely
good.
has a major Paige vibe
Yeah.
to her, and is talented just like Paige was as well. So very excited to see her in action, and hopefully we can see her a lot more.
And when she was going up against Shana. Remember when she was going up against Shana? It was really good.
Yeah, it was.
They were like two brutes going at it.
Yeah, absolutely. They were very coordinated together. That
Very
definitely was an adding factor into that fluency and chemistry category.
Yep.
It was definitely a hard match to follow, as the next match of the night definitely shows.
Yeah, it definitely does show Puffster as two across the board.
Two is across the board.
The lowest scoring for this week's AEW for their match card. And for our star ratings, so they got a solid 2, no points, no nothing to get up there close to it. Not even to a 2.5.
Nothing.
2
Two straight across the board with a 0 in relevancy.
Yeah, but that match was just awful to follow. I had a hard time following that match. But Brandon Cutler...
granted, it was pretty quick.
Brandon Cutler reminded me of someone. I think I said something about Justin Credible. He reminded me of Justin Credible from ECW.
Either way, he crit failed tonight.
Yep.
So...
But on to our main event, Puffster. Heyman Adam Page and Kenny Omega against Sammy Guevara and Le Champion Chris Jericho.
Right. Now, this match is one that I actually really liked. But, Ace,
okay,
you did a little something this week.
I do deserve this because I did throw you under the bus a little bit ago.
A little bit ago. You want to tell the fine folks out there, the fine Puffamaniacs, what you decided this week?
I gave them a negative point, Buster.
And why did you give them a negative point, Ace?
Because Sammy Guevara.
Because Sammy Guevara did something.
Guevara.
Whatever. Did something. Something tells me that you might be a little biased there.
Just for his entrance, I'm nothing really biased against his wrestling. Just his entrance.
So wait, you can say something negative about someone just because they're being themselves?
Everybody's a critic.
So you're telling me, Ace, that you can do that and not be biased?
Yeah.
So, when I did that last week, I'm biased.
Oh, yeah.
But when you do it, everybody's a critic?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
It's the heel.
What a heel.
Everybody's favorite heel.
Yeah, friendly neighborhood heel.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
What?
Is that really how you feel about it?
Sure.
It doesn't matter how you feel about it.
Well, let's go.
It doesn't matter because Sammy Guevara is actually a really good wrestler, regardless of what you think.
He's the Spanish god.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I don't know about him being a god of wrestling.
No, he's dreadful.
He's thank you. He is dreadful. Gosh darn it.
Compared to the people that he's being put up with.
Yes.
And that's nothing against him. He's extremely young, and the guys that he's being put with
like
are
Kenny Omega,
like
Chris
Kenny Omega,
Jericho,
right,
Cody Rhodes.
are going to be future Hall of Famers and future goddamn legends one day.
Yeah.
So he's in the right spot to be in at that young of an age.
Yeah.
To really absorb everything that he can give out of them. But when he's wrestling with them in the ring, they're just wrestling circles around him.
Yeah.
By all means, though, for his age, for what he's able to deliver, he does it very well. But just being on the level,
big part in the sell factor.
right? He's just simply just not on the level of the people that he's surrounded with in the conflicts that he's given.
Yeah. And that rating for the main event between Heyman Adam Page and Sammy Guevara and Jericho, that was a solid 3, Puffster. They did have a -1 effect, and that was because I
was biased.
No.
Was biased.
I was a critic.
Biased.
But let's move on over to NXT. We have Pete Dunne versus Damien Priest in a rubber match. These two duked it out. It was an all-out brawl. They did have a +1 on the relevancy, though, Puffster, and
That's right. Killian Dane came out.
Yes, he did, and
making statements once again.
NXT's locker room is on notice. They have been on notice ever since someone went through the announcer table by Killian Dane. But that the All-Star rating on there is 2.3. That leads us into the next Divas competition in NXT. Well, the first NXT Divas Women's competition.
Right.
Taya versus Santana. You know what? It's just as good as the beginning match, Puffster.
It was.
2.5.
You know what was just as good, though? Trying to hear you say those names.
It is a hard time.
They're not as easy as they seem.
Tanera or something. Tanera? I think it's Tanera and Santana. Tanera.
Why do pronunciations have to be different?
I don't know. But this is the best one right here. This was because Dakota Kai, she had to prove to everyone that she could beat Shannon Baszler, the Queen of Spades.
Yes.
But Dakota Kai fell short.
Being forced to tap.
Brutally, though.
Yes. Oh, absolutely brutally.
Yep.
I mean...
Not as bad as Jericho doing it to Cody Rhodes, but...
Well... I mean, true. But, when you look at the same aspect, it's a more real-life fighting style that gives Shayna that... I could say ruthlessness, I could say aggression, I could say... I really don't know how to put it. I guess it would be intelligence, actually.
Right.
She just, regardless of where she's at in the ring, her ring awareness is so on point. She knows what to do in the worst way for her opponent possible at any given moment. I think that comes a lot from her mixed martial arts background.
And she is... Well, both of them have the mixed martial arts background. Dakota Kai, team kicks.
Mm-hmm.
But that match did have... They did overall better over the first female match and the first match of NXT, coming up to a 3.2. And the matches just keep getting better and better as NXT goes through. As it goes to the next match, it was the NXT Cruiserweight #1 contenders match between Angel Garza and Tony Nese, and that right there was a great cruiserweight match.
It was. #1 contendership match. Leo Rush coming out at the end, trying to be a good sport, getting slapped in the face by Angel Garza.
Yep. So it's gonna be heated up, and that's this week's for NXT. Those three are gonna be going at Angel Garza and Leo Rush for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
But back to this week, So that match, Tony Nese and Angel Garza, 3.3. As I said, the night gets better as it goes. We have Isaiah Scott Swerve versus Dominic Dijakovic.
Wow, he
These
actually got it.
guys, yeah, cheers for me.
Yeah, he gave a high five to him for that. These guys duked it out.
Yes, they did.
They really did, especially at the end there. What a way to finish it.
Jeez, it was brutal.
It was.
It was freaking brutal.
It was brutal.
Dude.
It was quick. It was done precisely.
Yep.
Everything about it was just adequate.
Yes, adequate. Adequate.
Are you sure you don't have a different word that you could use for that?
We'll save that for a little later, Poster. That star rating, 3.8, damn near 4 points, but that went in to the main event. Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa versus the OC. What? The OC? The OC retaliating, coming back and beating up NXT's. I mean, the door was wide open, as Tommaso Ciampa said.
Who they beat up?
They beat up.
It was
Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. That's right.
Bobby Fish and they were eating on some hot dogs, and Bobby Fish got splatted like a fish.
Yeah.
Or so it looked. But that match.
And in all honesty, what I think they were going for is they were going for a blood effect, but they used ketchup. The fail that they had in that, though, is that they left the ketchup on the table behind them that they would then put him through. So we saw the ketchup right behind him being casually hidden by a couple of water bottles.
And Poster, that match was great. It was almost a 5. It was 4.7. But Puffster, that leads us in, since that is completed for the card this week, we have to go over the decent and the dreadful. Everybody gets one. So I'm gonna pick my decent, and honestly, it was hard to pick which one was decent, but I had to go with the overall ratings for decency. It was the main event for NXT. Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa against the OC. Just an outstanding performance from all of them. Bravo to the NXT. NXT starting to shape up from developmental into a flagship show.
Oh, absolutely.
And bravo to NXT, you know.
Absolutely. Who is the main roster in WWE? Well, it's been us, Vince. It's been us all along. It's NXT.
Well, you wanted people to give opinions on what you've been doing.
You
Vince.
Want ratings. You want people to be happy with your product. Well, you're getting it.
Yep, and you just listen to us, and we'll show you the way. But enough about me and my decency. I want to hear what you have to say for your one-time saying, Poster.
Well, as we have the good, we have the decent, we have the bad, and we have the ugly. And here, PUFFAMANIA, bad and ugly, wear the same pair of shoes, and that pair of shoes is called Absolutely Dreadful. And our one dreadful of the night this week is one that is going to be very unique, because normally the dreadful is, in all honesty, I mean, it's dreadful. There's something just about it that is just not good. That's just not watchable. It's the match you fast forward, take a bathroom break through, get a refill on your beer. It's that kind of a match. This week, it wasn't. But because of star scoring, as Ace said, we have to go by that. Relevant scores. AEW's opening match, Pac versus Trent. Unfortunately, this week is our dreadful match of the week. And it pains me to say that, because this match, honestly, I actually really did enjoy this match. And I know you did too, Ace.
Yeah, I did. I honestly wanted to pick this to be the decent match, but overall, the ratings on that was
It was the lowest star rating with the highest uh, negative relevancy score. So, because of that, it is the dreadful match of the week. But dreadful doesn't mean that it can't be enjoyed. In wrestling, it's like ice cream. I can have my vanilla, you can have your chocolate. We all can have our own flavor and enjoy it in our own way. So, don't take it too seriously. Don't take offense to it if you like that match. Know that we're with you, but the numbers don't lie.
Never do, Puffster. They never do. But let's get on over to the real numbers that matter. The overall ratings, the overall star power, the average of the night.
Basically, which one is the winner?
And the winner for average of the night is NXT with 3.3. So we averaged that up to 66%. And AEW had 2.6, which is 52%. NXT with taking that trophy home for this week's winner of the wars. But Puffster, it continues with the viewership, but it's on the other side as AEW went home with 822,000 viewers, but that's up from 759,000 viewers from last week's.
Okay.
Now, keep this in mind, Puffmaniacs. We do Wednesday Night War Rooms from the previous week to keep you all updated. So, NXT's viewership this week, it was 813,000 viewers, but that's up from 518,000 viewers from last week. Puffmaniacs, improvement indeed, Puffster.
You know, what I find really interesting is the pattern that we're now getting to see. Both sides are slowly growing in viewership every week. And last week, AEW won with a tremendous lead over NXT. And this week, NXT has won with a tremendous lead over AEW.
Yep. It's true, Puffster. But that's enough of that. Let's go on over to what's going to be popping this week for the match cards, because we got to go over what happened at Full Gear, the fallout, what's going to be happening on AEW Dynamite. We also got to say what's going to be going down on NXT. We're only 2 weeks away from Survivor Series and TakeOver War Games.
Can't wait for that.
So, Puffster. All right, Puffster, we highlighted the 2 key matches that are going to be going down tonight for NXT, and that is the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match, Lio Rush versus Angel Garza. That should be a great match. We also have this women's ladder match, Mia versus Io Shirai in a ladder match for War Games advantage. But also, what's next for Tommaso Ciampa, Matt Riddle, and Keith Lee as they look forward to War Games against the Undisputed Era?
Can't wait for that one either.
That's going to be great. I literally want to see what's going to be going down tonight. What with Tommaso Ciampa.
You know, this is actually a really unique scenario because at the same time as for War Games, they are pinned against each other as bitter rivals. However, at the same time, they all have the same target on their back because they are where they're at for their brand. So, for the invasions, for Raw and SmackDown, they have to be on each other's sides. So, they have to be friends and enemies at the same time in this case. And so, they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, there's going to be no... I mean, how are they going to do that? How are they going to do the traditional 5-on-5?
They're not.
They're going to have to.
Or make it complete pandemonium. 15 men in the ring.
Battle Royal.
5-on-5-on-5.
Hell yeah, let's do that. Will we see more attacks from the blue and red team, Puffster?
I don't know. But actually, honestly, not to backtrack or anything, but how they could do that? I mean, War Games is already gonna happen. Why not have a War Games Survivor Series match?
Maybe. I mean, we've seen a lot of things happen in Survivor Series. We've seen Kane get thrown in the back of an ambulance in the ambulance match.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Kane chokeslam his brother into his own grave for a buried alive match. And we have witnessed so many other things.
Yes, we've seen Kane do a lot of things.
But what I really want to topic about here for NXT though, that's coming up tonight, is are we gonna hear more from Finn Balor? Like what?
That is a good question.
I guess what else more do we need to know after last week?
Well, I mean,
AJ
Bullet
Styles,
Club, it was bound to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't take Bullet Club because it's not theirs, but they're gonna wink as close as they can to it now as humanly possible, simply to get whatever views they can get out of that.
Yeah.
Just gonna juice it out. So, which is understandable and something to look for WWE. It makes sense, something that they would do.
Onward to AEW, Puffster, eh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. SCU versus Le Champion and soon to be Le Champion Double Champion. Chris Jericho.
Le Champion Royale.
Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. That should be a great match, but I'm hoping SCU pulls out and wins. We have another rubber match between Pac and Heyman Adam Page. That should be a good match after what they did at Full Gear. I'm definitely expecting a lot out of that match.
As am I.
We need some more cowboy shit.
We need some cowboy shit. Hopefully we don't get censored for that.
This is, I'm going to save this for a little bit. Moxley is unleashed after that lights out match.
Well, he warned him.
Yeah. Well, he warned everyone.
You're not going to like what happens here.
I guess he didn't warn
and
Renee
you know
either.
What Renee didn't like it.
Yeah.
So,
Renee didn't
there's a lot of people out there that didn't like it.
No.
A lot of people out there that were shocked by
it.
it.
But I freaking enjoyed it.
I did too.
I love death matches.
We love our time bomb. We love our hardcore wrestling, EC dub chants, and
you sick frick, you sick frick, you sick frick. It's supposed to be the other word, but I ain't gonna say.
We're not gonna get flagged for wrestling chants.
Yeah. Will we see Awesome Khan on Wednesday Night Dynamite? She did come out on Full Gear.
I definitely think it's possible. I definitely think we could see her. I don't know though. Something tells me that they could possibly try to make us think that she's going to be there, not have her be there, cut on a promo with it to add a little bit more suspense. So, as much as I think that she could be there, I can see real reasons why she wouldn't.
And then the biggest topic of probably the night, and you said it yourself.
Oh, it is the biggest topic of the night.
The heel of the modern day wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. He is so phenomenal. If only those wrestling skills could keep up with him.
And which is they don't.
Not yet. Not entirely. I mean, he's a great wrestler. He's an even greater heel. But in the ring, he does need some improvement.
That he does, Puff.
Either way, what a heel turn. Throwing in the towel, getting rid of Cody Rhodes' only opportunity to get the belt. And let's be real, the only other major person in the eyes of MJF as competition to Le Champion would be Cody. So in the towel there, gets rid of Cody, not only has to worry about is Le Champion.
Le Champion.
Literally kicks a man while he's down. It was a great match. It was a great heel turn. Loved everything about it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love MJF.
But now he has to answer for what he's done tonight.
Tonight on AEW Dynamite. We're all going to sit there around the TV, going to find out what the hell is going through his mind. But Puffster, Now it's time to thank all the Puffamaniacs for the love and support that they give to help Puffamania run wild.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means the world to us. You guys are the reason why we do this. But we also have to tell the Puffamaniacs out there about Fantasy Warfare Roulette, which you still have a chance to tune into and compete for if you are in the FM area or simply in the Midwest and don't mind to travel. There is a first wrestling show at the Sanctuary, November 29th, here in Fargo, North Dakota, and you could be the lucky winner of the very last ringside seat to that show, next to your boys, Big Papa Puff, and your friendly local neighborhood heel, Ace the Kid Hagen.
And might I add, they are the hot seat of the night. Puffamaniacs, you want to take part of Fantasy Warfare Roulette. Why? Because Fantasy Warfare is fun. You get to take part of something in Puffster. It's the time of November, so that's the time of family.
Absolutely.
So it's the wrestling families. You got your Harts, you got your McMahons, you got your Von Erichs, you got your
Guerreros,
you
your
got
Headings,
the list
your
goes
Ortons.
on. Your Hearts. I think I said Hearts already.
You did, but there's
Hearts,
multiple Hearts.
There is lots of Hearts. And that being said, Puffster, you all Puffmaniacs out there, if you didn't know, we have a Facebook page. Go on over there to our Facebook. Like and follow. We reached up to 100 likes on our Facebook page. We're going to be handing out some free merchandise.
And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe here at YouTube and click the bell notification button so you can be there when Puffamania runs wild. And when we reach 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a live giveaway on the Puffamania YouTube page.
Absolutely. And that's grade A, decent. And Puffster, we just opened up a new account for what is it, Puffster?
Instagram. That's right, Puffamania. We now have Instagram. Don't be afraid to take a peek and follow. Smash that follow button on there. We want to see all you guys. Every follow we get, we'll give a follow back.
And Buster, it's time for the bombshell. I normally don't get to do the bombshell, so I'm kind of excited, but I'm really excited for
it. Has been the wee hours here on a Tuesday night, or I should say now morning. And we have received some breaking news within the time of recording this. And Ace, I will give you the pleasure of dropping this week's bombshell.
Pipe bomb, might I add?
Indubitably.
Indubitably. He's back. Cult of Personality, ladies and gentlemen, might I add to tell you that it is clobbering time. The best in the world, 465 days champion, CM Punk. God, it's great to say his name, that he's back. It's fantastic.
Finally, the best in the world has come home. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to end. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to us. We'll see you again very soon. Same Puff time, same Puff channel. Good night.
NW.